What's happening, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. Just wanted to hop on here, talk a little bit about mental health, and May being the month of mental health awareness, taking time to raise awareness about mental health because mental health is pretty important to our overall well-being. And I had no idea that May was a month of awareness for this. And so learned a little bit. And so I decided to do a little deeper dive into mental health, learn a little bit more about it. And obviously it's something that we know people in our lives that have struggled. We have personally struggled. You know, people have bad days, bad moments, bad weeks, maybe even potentially bad months, going through things. And again, how we deal with those things are so vitally important. And I think it's something that we just kind of brush to the wayside. We maybe focus more on our physical than we do on our mental, and our mental is vitally important. And what is mental health? What makes up our emotion, our psychological, and maybe even how we cope with stress. I mean, basically how we react to certain things and how we behave and how we think about things and how we solve problems. And all of that has to do with our mental makeup and our mental health and why it's so vitally important. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to just jump on here and talk about some things where we can mitigate that, some steps that we can help, keep our mental strong, because, we don't want to just focus on our physical well-being, but we also want to focus on our mental well-being because it's a package, right? Because stress is very high. There's a lot of negativity that goes around in the world. We got a lot of things on our minds, and we stress a lot about things that never really ever happen in our lives, but it does create higher levels of cortisol in our bodies, and it does take a toll on our bodies. And I truly believe that stress is probably up there as the number one reason that we as people will experience some sort of disease. Not the only reason, but it is a high level, causes problems in our bodies as we get older if we don't deal with those things and mitigate it. So I wanted to make us aware of it and why it's important to have some steps in our lives of where we can help improve mental health. And so I wanted to go through a little bit of a list here and some things and give you some ideas on what you can do to do that. And the first one is just self-care, right? Things, just making sure that you're taking care of yourself, being a little bit selfish. And I know that's going to come off the wrong way, but at the end of the day, if all you do is focus on other people and you never show up as the best version of yourself and take care of yourself a little bit and have a little bit of self-care, have maybe a morning routine where you focus on yourself for maybe 30 minutes. It can be a thing where you go to the gym and you maybe put some headphones in and you're just listening to some good quality audiobooks or listening to some music, whatever, getting in a good state for the day, taking time to take 5 to 10 minutes and just be at ease with your thoughts, maybe reading a good book. These are all things that you can do for self-care. Obviously, making sure maybe you go out and take a walk in nature, get out in the sunlight, get a little bit of vitamin D. These are all things that you can consider a part of what I would call self-care. Getting on a bike and riding and going down the bike path or taking a walk, just getting out and getting some fresh air, getting out from behind the screen of the television or the computer or your phone, and allowing just being in nature, maybe connecting with some friends, whatever. These are all vitally important of self-care, and that would be the first step or the first way to improve mental health. Second one would be you want to seek support, seek friends, seek counselors, seek therapists, seek maybe a program that can help you with your mental, help you, strengthen your mental. Jump on YouTube and watch a couple videos in regards to something and be strengthening your mental health and things that you can be doing, but you want to seek support. You never want to do anything in regards to that type of getting your mental health right by yourself. So connect with people, connect with groups, but making sure that you seek support in that. The next thing is vitally important. That's manage stress. Managing stress is so vitally important. Making sure that you keep your stress levels down as much as possible. Stop worrying so much about things that you can't control. Don't worry about things that will probably never happen. Worry can be a huge thing that can cause an enormous amount of stress. And we think about things, we ponder on things that, we're not even sure will ever happen in our lives. So I encourage you to manage stress as much as possible. If you get into a stressful moment, walk away. You get into a stressful situation at your work, go outside, pace for a little bit, pace outside, get a little sun, do whatever you do, going back to that self-care. But again, you want to manage stress because I believe having a high level of stress is really not good for your mental, and it most certainly is not good for the body. Two more things here. One would be stay connected. You want to make sure you're staying connected with friends, staying connected with family, staying connected again with your therapist. Make making sure that you're staying connected with somebody that can encourage you, that can hold you accountable to these things to help you with your mental. Have a call every week. Maybe get on a call with some friends and you just be an encouragement. Just, share stories of victories that you had in that previous week. Sharing stories of things that you overcome, because when we hear that, hey, this person went through this and they were able to overcome that, it gives you hope. It gives you encouragement to say, you know what, if they got through it, I can get through it. I can get through any of these hardships that I'm dealing with right now and keep my mental in check. So, and then the last one is challenge negative thinking, right? Negative thinking is so crazy. And obviously we talk a lot about positive thinking and being positive all the time. And I don't even think that's completely realistic. There was a book that was written, I can't remember the author of the book or the name of the book, but in essence, it's talking about being in neutral and having a neutral mindset and not being negative necessarily and not being always so positive, because I think being so positive all the time is just not possible 100% of the time. You're going to have experiences that come into your life that are going to try to derail you, but maybe being more neutral, but at least dissolving those negative thinkings, because negative is definitely not a place we want to live. It is definitely not something that we want to constantly ponder on, in the negative things and the negative aspects of maybe what's going on in our lives or what's going on in the economy or what's going on in our world or what's going on in our neighborhood or in our families or the drama that's going on. We want to make sure that we're not pondering on those negative things. So you want to mitigate that as much as possible, manage those negative thoughts, and maybe be more neutral, or have a mindset where you think more about being neutral than maybe going either positive or negative. So my final thoughts, and just wrapping up this quick video in regards to May being a month of mental health, just want to encourage you again to just make sure that you're doing the proper things for self-care, because mental is so important. We don't want to just focus on our bodies. We don't want to just focus on every other aspect of our lives and let our minds and let our thoughts be neglected. We want to make sure we're sharp. We want to make sure that we're on the edge of where we need to be, especially when we're in projects, and having being present in that moment and not all over the place and scattered and so on and so forth. So very, very important. Hopefully May is an awareness and continue to perpetuate to be an awareness for mental health. And I hope this brought some light, or at least brought some awareness to you of some things that you can think about. Just thought I'd jump on here and be helpful again with a little bit of a deep dive and just what we can do to really curb and making sure that we are the best versions of ourselves that we can be, and making sure that we protect our mental health. This is vitally important. I think it's most important for our overall well-being in our lives. So that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and bye for now.